Alright man, giving you a little bit of walk around. So the first thing you want to do is turn the battery on in the back. So when you turn it on, right there we have 13.2, 13.1 volts. That's exactly where you want to be. So we're going to get in the car. So now that we have the battery where it needs to be, we can go ahead and turn some stuff on. So right there turns your radio on and your displays, I believe. That right there turns, no, that turns the displays and the dash on, and then that turns your upper console on. So if you want sounds right off the bat, you press and hold this. It's going to go ahead and turn the sound on, and then to do is just go ahead.
I am the voice of Knight Industry 2000's microprocessor, KITT for easy reference, a Kitt if you prefer.
Alright, so then these all make the sounds and everything, and then that changes depending on what you press. All right there. Right underneath here, which is going to be hard to see, so right underneath your speed is going to be the button. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that will control your slow readout thing right here. Your windows right here. And that's pretty much it. Then you can go ahead and do all of
Don't
this.
touch turbo boost. Something tells me you shouldn't touch turbo. Good heavens.
So
I'm Kitt. I certainly hope so. Police him. I am the voice.
So these all have stuff.
Lucia, the black car. Excuse me. For two strangers, I'll be right here. Michael, you're right. I'll be right here.
So, right underneath the steering wheel, if you feel, you can go up and then you can actually feel the bolt that's holding the steering wheel on. You almost have to use one finger to get up in there in case if you ever need to take the steering wheel off. One thing I did not talk about, so Kitt's voice right now is reading from the DVD player. So it only goes on when Kitt's voice is talking. So you'll see that it's not doing anything right now. Now if I reach up right here, about right here on the dash, from underneath the dash is a box with a switch on it, which I'm gonna reach up there right now, and I'll just keep it this way. Where's that box? Okay. Hold on, I feel it. There we go. Oh, hold on. There it is. So now Kitt's voice has gone off. Now Kitt's voice will translate with all the pod sounds. So
How do I look? After what I've been through, a little publicity might help reinforce my self-image.
so that way you can have, like at car shows, Kitt's voice going along with the voice box, with the DVD. Flick the switch, Kitt's voice will go with the pod electronics, the radio, pretty much anything else that makes a sound besides the DVD player. So flick it back, Kitt's voice will read off the DVD, flick it forward, and then Kitt's voice will work off the pods.
I am the voice of Knight Industry 2000. I'll be right here.
So that's one thing which is pretty neat, because a lot of people just have Kitt's voice going all the time. So if you have different things doing it, it makes it sort of a pain in the butt, or it doesn't look right if you have a DVD with Kitt talking and his voice box doesn't light up. So that's really the only way. Then you have your down, up for the turn signal. Behind here, where the stock gauges are, is where you would turn the headlights on and off. And then this one right here is for the fog lights, right here. And yeah, so that's all of that. So let me get out. I have stuff loaded back here. I still have to add the steering wheel, I believe. But we're all here. I have the hood up right now because I'm just making sure that the battery is to its fullest charge, just in case that he sits on the truck for a little bit. I just want to make sure he's fully charged, that will withstand the time that it takes. All right, so behind this seat, and I labeled everything for you, there's a little thing that you have to push up, and then you can go ahead and do that. So here's all of your mixers. So we have the outside mixer, and then we have the inside mixer. So if I bring up the DVD from the inside, I can bring that up and down. You have your radio right here, and then you have your dash sounds. Same thing with the outside. So if I bring up the DVD, you're hearing that it's loud. You got your radio, you got your dash sounds. So you might just want to like leave these up just a little bit. So if you turn on the radio, you don't have to reach back here. So usually about 9 o'clock on the amp itself is about a good spot to have all that. I did leave the Atari remote. That's just for display. You do have your turbine. So the turbine is in here. So if you lift this up, there's a switch to turn the turbine on and off. I usually just leave it on all the time and then just do the adjustments from there. And then there's a little knob that changes the pitch of it. But man, I think you are good. That's about it. Oh yeah, so right down here, it's gonna be impossible to see. You have your camera switch. So if you wanted to switch from a DVD to a camera, you just switch both of these back, and then you would have your camera, your front and rear camera on the screens, and then flick it forward. And then right under here, basically sitting on top of the dash, is going to be where your SD card readers are for the DVD or whatever for your media. I think that's about it. So we're good here. So since these are aftermarket seatbelts, I went ahead and, so no place will install aftermarket seatbelts, so I had to have my upholsterer do it. I had to sign off that I wasn't reliable for any accidents or whatever, since he's not certified in, I don't know what you would say it. There's only a handful of companies that will certify redoing seatbelts, and those companies did not have the color to match Kitt. So I found new old stock seatbelt, and we went ahead and sewn it up. Be careful when you're pulling up here, just like on any Pontiac Trans Am. These could pop off. They're up there pretty good. I mean, you can see they're not going anywhere, but could pop off. But if you pull this too far, I mean, like if somebody comes in and like yanks it and then fully extends it, sometimes it could get stuck. So you just want to play around with it. The best thing to do is just grab it from here and then do it so you're not really yanking on the top. So that's that. I didn't want to ruin the seats by putting the loop here, but I do have that, which I put right here. So those are the loops for the seat belts if you want. And then there's your comlink, a car show sign, the do not touch, William Daniels. That's a spare amp, and then there's spare amp parts, your your towel, a model of Kitt. There's a spare plexiglass. We have the signatures and stuff. If you wanted to bring this up, that does work to where it connects up there. And then I have them plugged in right now, charging. So I usually I don't stick the the plug all the way in. I sort of leave it just hanging out, like leaving one of the tips hanging out so it doesn't fall all the way in. But you can sort of do whatever you want. If it ever did fall all the way in, there's 1, 2, 3 screws that you could pop this panel out and then drop it back. But that only happened once with me that I ever had to do that. This is magnetic, so you can bring that up. But yeah, he's minty fresh for you, man. I mean, he's as mint as mint can be. And you are good. You are good to go. Oh, one thing, I never had a problem with it, but just in case, right here are the fuses for the fog lights. So you have 1, 2, 3 fuses. When I wash the car with water, I usually just tend to put a towel here just in case, because I did notice some drips could get on here. I never had a problem with anything, but just to safeguard it, I would just block this, because when the hood's closed, water could get down, get inside of it. But they're made for Jeeps and stuff, so I don't think that you would be having any problem with that. Oil's been changed, the fluid's been changed, put new air filters in there, so that's all good. You might notice, and this is sort of a trick that Mark Brown taught me. So on the turn signal itself, you'll notice about this much of it, I have electrical tape just sort of covering the very top of it. That's because if the hood's down and if you look at sort of a weird angle, you could see a little bit of the orange, which I feel like throws the look off. So just by covering just a little bit of that top with electrical tape hides that, so that when the hood's closed, you don't have to worry about it. The hood itself, I mean, of course it's painted and everything. Had to grind off this. It normally sticks up to about right here, but if you close the hood, it falls on to the scanner. So you just want to make sure when you pop open the hood, you got to sort of reach and then lift that, and then the hood pops up. And then lastly is your scanner. So I have the scanner down here, and it's secured tight, so you just go ahead and press the power button, and then it comes on, and then you can go ahead and raise and lower the speed of that, and then you'll see that the scanner is the way that it should be. Those just take H2 bulbs if you need it. And yeah, that's it, man. Enjoy. Treat him good. He'll treat you good. And then just turn that off. I usually just get out of the habit of turning the dash off before I power stuff off, but I never had a problem. Oh yeah, there's a fuse box here for up here. It's actually inside here. Fuse box in here, which controls down here. And then if you look right behind this screen, behind the dash, is the fuse box for the dash. Never had one problem, but just wanted to let you know where the fuses are. Everything's triple protected, so you shouldn't ever have a problem with popping a fuse or anything like that, but just wanted to let you know where that's at. But yeah, if you open this up, there's a knob right here, so you press up or back, and that's the pitch of your turbine. And that's it. I'm gonna miss them. Enjoy, man.